You were doing so good and you it up. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again, and you are watching the first episode of what I'm simply calling the meat prep. Because you guys know how much I love prepping my meat. If you know what I'm saying. Now for this, what it's going to be hopefully is a series chronicling my journey to my next powerlifting meet, which is right now supposed to be held on March 28th and 29th in Sterling, Connecticut. It's the RPS New England Revolution. Now I say hopefully to be held only because the last powerlifting meet I signed up for ended up getting canceled a few days prior, which really threw me off and sent me into a little bit of a downward spiral. So let's talk a little bit about the past year and where things have gone. So in the beginning of 2014, I actually competed in a couple powerlifting meets, and I was signed and primed to do one in early spring with Bob Arcan from Olympus Iron. My numbers, my training, everything was looking on point. I went away for a week to Vegas to do work, at which time I was also kind of taking the week off because my meet was supposed to be when I got back. However, when I got to Vegas, I got a phone call saying the meet was canceled. And that really threw me for a loop. At the time I was working with Dan, things were going great, but my body was getting kind of beat up just from all the stuff I was putting it through and being unfortunately, natty athlete. Natty. I just couldn't keep up and my body really broke down, and it took me a couple of months to really recuperate, so to say. And you guys probably know from watching my videos, I complained a lot. I tried to do a lot of different things. I tried to fix a lot of things with my squat form, my deadlift, my bench, made a lot of excuses, lifted a lot of lightweight, so to say. But finally, I feel like I'm at the point now where things are all going my way again. I'm on my own training program, as I've already mentioned. My numbers seem to be progressing nicely, and I'm ready to do another meet. I finally found one that's close. And that's kind of another thing I want to talk about is the federation I chose to do. So this is an RPS meet. I've competed in RPS in the past, as well as a couple other federations. But to me, personally, it doesn't really matter. I know there are some out there who are really diehards for certain federations, their rule sets, whatever it may be.
What's up, guys? It's Johnny Candido of Candido Training.
HQ, baby. I don't care, mostly because I'm not setting any world records. Mostly because I can't set any world records, both with my weight, what I weigh right now, and also my numbers. It's nothing that would put me even close to being elite status. So for that, I don't really care so much about the federation. My mindset going in is more, I want to hit the best numbers I can and improve each time that I go in.
That's what she said?
So it doesn't really matter, but going to an actual meet or competition is still a good arena because you have people there judging you. The atmosphere is really great. Plus you have to do all three lifts on the same day rather than do like gym maxes where you can go in one day and just focus on one particular lift. So RPS New England Revolution for me. I'll actually link the meet in the description box below. If anyone's interested in either attending, competing, watching, heckling, whatever you want to do, that's fine by me. The more, the merrier. I know some other people might be coming to that. For example, Max Tuning and Nick Wright. Both right now are tentatively scheduled to compete in that meet. We'll see how things go over the course of 12 weeks. As we know, things have a tendency to change and or excuses seem to arise. So hold you two accountable. And if you see them or go on their channels, which I'm sure you do if you watch mine, make sure you really push them to go. A couple other YouTubers mentioned Mike competing in this. We'll see how it goes again with this series. Hopefully we'll be able to keep you abreast of all that information. Now for me last year, it's been tough for these meets. I really like going. It's been a great experience every time. I've set a PR every squat attempt that I've gone through as far as these meets go. However, where I've really struggled is the bench and the deadlift. I haven't been able to put together what I would consider a good all-around meet. In fact, I think the best performance I've had is going 7 out of 9 in a meet. So for this particular meet, I have some numbers in mind. I'd like to get a 1,500 total. I don't really care how that happens necessarily, but I'm thinking hopefully somewhere around a 550 squat, which I think is definitely doable, a 350 bench, which is going to be a stretch and really hard to reach, and at least a 600 deadlift. Now I say that at least a 600 only because I know I have more in me in my numbers, and even in previous trainings, I've been able to pull more than that. But for me, going into the meet and actually having to squat and bench first, and not to mention set PRs and squats, having that energy to have a good pull has been something that I've really struggled with. So for this particular meet, I'd really like to put a combination together of a really good meat, because let's face it, we all like good meat. No one likes bad meat, spoiled meats. We like that good, tender, juicy meat. And I'd like to put together hopefully a 9 out of 9. Now, if I could get one and not the other, I'd probably be okay with that too, but I'd like to set some lofty goals for this particular meet. So a 1,500 total, which again might not seem like much. I know my gym total is higher, but in a meet setting, that's difficult for me to do, or it has been so far. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully hitting those good numbers. Now, as far as the weight class goes that I'm going to compete in, I think for this meet, I'm just going to go for the 242 class. So I've competed in both the 220 before and the 242. This isn't the IPF type rules where they're changing the weight classes to my knowledge. But for this, what I find is my comfortable everyday walking around weight is around 230 pounds. And again, because I'm not setting any world records, again, mostly because I can't set any world records, I'm not going to worry about my weight. Again, I just want to improve upon my overall total. That's my main concern, and I don't want to have to worry about dieting down, making sure I weigh enough, or even being heavier in that case. So one of the things that's tough is if you compete in a weight class, like in my instance, 242, I'll probably be one of the lighter people in that weight class. But I'm okay with that because for me, between 225 and 230 is where I feel most comfortable. So that's exactly what I'm going to do because that's just one less thing I'm going to have to worry about. I'm a little bit of a stress freak when it comes to some of this stuff. I tend to overanalyze everything, as you guys have probably noticed from some of my squat form videos and all this. And anytime I do a workout commentary, I always talk shit about myself. So this is just one less thing for me to worry about. So we're going to do the 242 class. For this particular meet too in the Federation, they have two different forms of raw lifting. They have raw classic and they have raw modern. Raw modern includes the use of knee wraps, which I do not wear, so I'll be competing in the raw classic division. I think for that too, I should say, they still let you wear wrist wraps for bench and squats. I think I have to go back and read the rules. Like I said, I've competed in this before. I haven't had any issues in terms of the gear that I use. The gear. Natty Crew checking in, as well as everything else. So form, otherwise, I haven't had any issues, at least up to this point, in terms of the equipment either. So the actual branding behind it. So this isn't a federation that says you have to have this specific brand or anything like that. So that's another thing that I like. So that's a little bit of a brief synopsis. This is more of just an intro video. What I hope to do, I think, and I'm still kind of going to feel this out as we go, is I'm thinking just once a week we'll do one of these episodes where I kind of give you an overview of all my training combined instead of doing a separate video for each particular day, just because I think that's going to get very repetitive. So maybe just some more brief overview where I combine everything and kind of stuff everything in there. It's really fond of doing, if you know what I'm saying, and give you a brief overview and then have maybe one or two other videos a week. And I might reuse some footage depending on what it is. Maybe if I do some kind of form videos or what has worked best for me. But overall for this series, I want to be kind of concise with the training footage I show, but also include some of the other stuff. So that's going to be a big struggle for me as well. Just trying to include some footage that's outside of the gym because, as you guys probably know, I'm pretty busy and I just don't really feel like filming a lot of stuff outside the gym because I don't have time or it's just not that entertaining. So I'm going to try my best. So hopefully you guys enjoy this series. If there's specific things you'd like to see during the course of these episodes, please let me know in the description box below. I think I'm going to try to aim for around 10 to 15 minutes per video. So a little bit longer than a lot of my other videos, especially my personal videos. But for this, I think, again, because the information is going to be pretty diverse and it's going to be a whole bunch of different clips, I think it'll be somewhat interesting, and not to mention just once a week, because that's all I can really get it up for. Didn't sound right. So there you go. That's the intro. Welcome to the meat prep.